Darren Leslie Jr. here with my review of Blair Witch. Blair Witch is the sequel, the true sequel to the 1999 hit, The Blair Witch Project. The film is directed by the masterful Adam Wingard. The film takes place 20 years after the original and follows James, who has recently uncovered a video that suggests that his sister Heather, our protagonist from the last film, may still be alive wandering the Black Hills forest. So he and four friends head into the woods with a bunch of camera equipment instead of, crucifixes or a super soaker filled with holy water, or calling the cops or the National Guard, or just informing someone out there that this person may still be in the woods, gathering a search party. It's just things that you should probably do other than saying let's go document this. Just, a heads up. Anyway, they set out on this trek to find some remnants of James's sister, but instead they find something else that I won't spoil. I know, but what if they still thought it was still called the woods? I know, but whatever, fine, okay, look, the Blair Witch awaits for them in the forest, okay? It's, scary ladies in the forest. Yes, as the group goes deeper in the forest and as night falls, they encounter the entity herself. Now, I was excited for this movie from the get-go. Before The Woods was eventually revealed to be a Blair Witch sequel, the trailer for that film intrigued me. Plus, this was Adam Wingard going for his first piss-your-pants horror movie. As genius as the guest and Your Next are, let's be honest, they're not really scary. This film, on the other hand, is nightmare fuel. Blair Witch is a tense, psychological, claustrophobic thriller that traps you in the woods with our unlucky protagonist. This film had a lot of tricks up its sleeve, expanding on the mythos of the Blair Witch and also creating some new terrifying elements of its own. There are things that happens in the Blackwoods Forest that I didn't know this entity was possible of doing, and I felt so sorry for these characters throughout this entire movie. There are some real mindfucks that occur in this film that completely throw not only the characters, but they throw you for a loop. You feel incredibly sorry and afraid for these. I almost called them kids. They're older than me. But yeah, well, they're not. I don't know. Maybe they aren't. Maybe they are. I don't know. These characters. you feel sorry for these characters going into all of this. It's just, yeah. But the terror shown in this film, we wouldn't believe if the actors weren't portraying it correctly. Which they do. The actors in this film give top-notch performances. They deliver the many, thankfully, comedic moments in this film to thunderous laughter. Especially Brandon Scott's Peter, whose timing and delivery was exceptional. But they also deliver upon the horror. When all the levity is stripped away, which it is, the Scream Queens emerge, and especially Kaylee Hernandez, who takes the stage in an extended, terrifying sequence. All the actors thankfully deliver terrific performances because, as I said before, this movie wouldn't work if we didn't believe in their fear. If they didn't sell the scares, there wouldn't be any to have. Adam Wingard once again shows off his skills directing this film with mastery. He takes advantage of the woods, of the atmosphere, turning them into characters themselves. He also brings a new, fresh angle to some of the found footage elements. This is one of the few found footage films that sometimes feels like more of a traditionally shot movie. Due to the fact that these characters have, multiple cameras. They have cameras on their ears, they have cameras in their hands, they have, they have an aerial drone that, takes, you can see, the entirety of the forest. So, and how it's cut together, there are certain times where it's just like, oh, that feels like a normal cut that would happen in a movie. How the camera was positioned, it would cut from, here to the actor standing right there. So it felt more, felt a little bit more traditional in that sense. If you don't like found footage, will this movie turn you around on it? No, there's still the shakiness and, the crazy angles and everything. But it is a little bit more, it is a bit of a more smoother ride than other found footage films. Also, how Wingard portrays our antagonist is fucking frightening. I haven't actually been frightened in a movie in a while. I mean, we've had some great horror movies this year, but I was frightened. I was genuinely frightened by some of the stuff I saw. The last 15 minutes of this movie is nightmare fuel. the majority of the last 13 minutes, I was looking down at the floor. Someone's probably just like, sitting in the audience, just like, why is that kid praying? Because I was just like, I can't do this. No spoilers, of course, but I'm just gonna say some things are left better to the imagination in this movie. But not every film is perfect, and I did have problems with this one. First and foremost, I believe this movie overstays its welcome a little bit. A few minutes and moments could have been shaved off to make this movie just a little bit tighter. I did find myself asking, is this still going? I enjoyed it, but still, it goes on for a little while. It goes on longer than I would have hoped it would. Also, the film has a few too many jump scares. A character actually points out, once again, someone jumps in front of the camera, and a character's just like, can you stop doing that? So there's a few, some of them are actually used to effect. There's one that's actually used to great effect, but it's just, there's a few too many. This film is smarter than, Yeah, so I just wish it wouldn't result to that as much. Last but not least, the twist of them going into the woods is incredibly predictable. You're gonna call it just like that when it happens. So, I just feel like there could have been a better reason for them to venture into the woods. If your sister disappeared after fucking 20 years, call the fucking cops. But, honestly, I just feel like the predicament that they get themselves into could have been completely avoided if you asked the right questions. Questions you would ask before going into a forest where people have disappeared before. So, just those type of things. I know there wouldn't be a movie if they didn't go into the woods, but if they're going to go into the woods, come up with just a smarter reason for them to go into the woods. But overall, Blair Witch is a psychological, claustrophobic nightmare. Adam Wingard delivers another tense, great feature, except this one is a lot scarier. The actors show up, the actors deliver the fear, the actors deliver the laughs. Only problems where it overstays its welcome a little bit, a little too reliant on jump scares at times, and the reason for them going into the woods was a bit predictable, but overall, a great horror. It's a great addition to a great year for horror for 2016. Horror, it's one of the genres this year that has constantly delivered on each feature, and and this is a proper addition to this incredible lineup with Don't Breathe, The Witch, Lights Out, Conjuring 2. It's just, this Hush. This has just been a great year for horror. So I'm really happy to see horror rising up again, and hopefully it can continue into the coming years, because this was a great addition. Like I said before, I haven't been absolutely frightened by a movie in a while, and this movie frightened me. This was really scary. So, Adam Wingard definitely delivered. If you were worried about there being a follow-up to the Blair Witch, about it not, delivering on the goods, this one definitely delivers. This is not a Book of Shadows. This is a proper sequel. So that was my review of Blair Witch. If you've seen it, please let me know what you thought about it in the comment sections below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did it deliver on the hype? Did it excite you? Does this feel like a proper sequel to the Blair Witch Project? Also check out some of the other websites and channels I'm involved with, including Cinema Squad, cinemasquad.com, and Major Minor at WordPress. I can contribute articles and videos over there occasionally, so please go over and check those out. And also check out some of my other trailer reactions and also some of my other movie reviews. I did a review for Don't Breathe and Suicide Squad, and I also did a trailer reaction and review for Collateral Beauty and Underworld: The Blood Wars. With all that being said, I'm Darren Lacey Jr. I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you want an all expenses paid trip to the Black Hills Forest, click this button right here.